Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to look at this little portulacaria afra lilliput. It's been growing in this training pot for a year or two, and I think it's got a decent enough shape to where I'm going to go ahead and put it in a bonsai, like a ceramic bonsai pot. Some would argue that it may be a little early, but I just like looking at my trees in ceramic pots, so that's what we're doing today. This one's kind of a slant style, informal upright, if you will. And let me give you a quick spin around here just so you can kind of see it. So I don't know if I want to prune it first or put it in a new pot first. I think I will go ahead and get it out of this pot and then kind of see what we're looking at for pruning. Just remove this rock I had in here for decoration. And then let me get I like using these plant saucers to catch all the soil in. And I'm thinking this one's probably tied in. Yep, so let's go ahead and cut that little piece of wire. Straighten these out. Just kind of push it up just to loosen it up a little bit, and then the tree should come right out. One good thing about these plastic training pots that I use, they look decent. Got a nice shape to them. They're really rigid, so they're sturdy. They're not flimsy plastic. They've got plenty of holes in the bottom to where you can tie wire. Plenty of drainage holes. So really nice, inexpensive way to grow some trees. And the inside's pretty slick, so very seldom, because sometimes in a ceramic pot your roots will stick to the side of the pot, but this one I've never really had that issue. Plus they're kind of sloped like that. They're not curved in like some of the ceramic pots, so they just slide right out. So easy to slip pot, repot, whatever. And if you're looking for something like this, I found some on Amazon, and I've got some links down below along with some other tools and cheap stuff that when I say cheap, I should say inexpensive. It's just a good value, because I found some stuff that good price, good quality. But anyway, if you're interested, check the links out below. All right, so let me just kind of see if we can get this wire out of here. Yep, there's that. Let me go ahead and if I don't need to, I normally don't like to cut a lot of roots. Even these ports can take heavy root work, especially here during the spring, summer. We're at the end of May now. Here in Texas, my temperatures are plenty warm. Trees are growing great. But if I don't need to, if they don't need a lot of work, I tend not to do a lot of pruning, because I like them to continue to grow. And whenever you do some heavy root pruning, they slow down a little bit. But like I said, in this warm weather, they do spring back pretty quick. So all right, I think that's good. I think I will prune some of these long ones. And then for the root pruning, I just use a pair of these heavy-duty utility kitchen scissors, because I don't want to ruin because there's a lot of rock and whatever I use. This mix has got expanded shale, turfus, and compost in it. So I just don't like trying to cut through some of that inorganic material, because they ruin my expensive shears. So I just use these. They're nice and sharp, so they cut well, but I'm not as concerned with hurting the blades on it. So yeah, I think that will work out just fine. You set this aside. See if that'll stand up by itself. Yep. And as far as the pot, I think I'm going to put it in this ceramic pot here. And just kind of sit it in there, give it a test fit. I'll have to put some soil in to lift it up, but I think I'm going to put the tree pretty much center, maybe off to the right just a little bit. I think that's going to work. So let me prep the pot. I've already got a little screen. I just use nylon window screen. You can order quite a bit in rolls just about anywhere. So let's see. So I'm going to put some wire in the bottom to tie the tree in, and it's got 4 holes. And what I think I'm going to do is kind of go diagonal, just so I can make sure I can cross the part of the roots that I want to cross. And I just kind of eyeball it here, make sure I've got enough room on top to twist it off, or tie it off, I guess, but you do twist it to tie it off. And then just feed it up through these holes. Then I'm going to go diagonal and then just pull it through, make sure it's tight, and then just kind of push them off to the side. And then I'll put my mesh down here to cover the big drain holes, and then as I put soil in, it will hold that mesh in place. You could wire it in, but I typically don't. So let me get a layer of soil in here, and then check the height again. I think that's pretty good height there. So check the positioning. I've got this branch coming off the trunk. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Could be a nice little cutting. Clean this off a little better. Make sure it's going to sit well. Let me step back here and take a look at it. Let's move it over just a little bit. And I think that'll do it right there. So going to make sure I've got the positioning front to back where I want it. Left to right we just looked at, so we're good there. So now I'm just going to grab this wire and then start twisting it. And once you get it started, I just use a pair of pliers. You can use any pliers you want. I just have an old pair of needle nose is all I use. Then once I get it tight where the tree's snug, I cut it off and then bend that part down. Then I'll fill the rest of it up with some soil. And once I get some in there, I'll use my chopstick just to nestle it in around the root ball. Try not to stab it a lot, just so I don't damage any of the roots. I will tap on it a little bit, but I'm not really stabbing aggressive. It's more you just poke it in and then just kind of rotate the chopstick. And I'm using these stainless steel ones I found, again, on Amazon, so if you're interested, they're linked down below. I just find they work a little better, easier to clean up than the wooden ones. And once I get it somewhat nestled in, I'll just kind of use my thumbs and kind of push it down. You can kind of feel where you've got some air pockets or not, because it'll have a lot more give in it. Put a little more soil around there. And then I'll just kind of tap on it pretty aggressive, and then the vibration will help settle the soil down too. I think that's looking pretty good. Yep. So now let's do a little bit of maintenance pruning on it. Don't need a lot, but I'm just going to take the top down, maybe round it off a little bit. Because the more you prune on these guys, the tighter the ramification gets. And I think that's kind of the goal of everybody, is trying to, get their trees to fill in and look really nice. Almost cut that, but I think I want to try to thicken that branch up, so I'm just going to leave the foliage out there. I kind of like the heaviness, how it kind of droops it down, so I'm just going to leave that for now. Let it continue to grow, and just kind of, I want to refine that pad over here. But I do like the way it's looking so far. I've got some negative space in through here, and I'll develop a nice top. I'll get some branches over here. This one will get bigger and have some negative space. So it's shaping up to be a decent little tree. And I think I'll leave it just like that for today. Not completely finished by any means, but I like the way it's looking, and just thought it needed to find a new home and a new pot. So I think that's going to do it. Let me give you a spin around here. There's the front. There's the left side. There's the back. Right side. And back to the front. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.